Hello, I'm Judith Jeffrey Nee Christie.
Hi, my name is Marcia Martin Thomas. You may know me just as Marcia Martin.
My name is Paul. Thank you.
I was known as Grayson Grant. I'm now Grayson Grant Wallace.
My name is Vernon Smith.
I am Niels Chaitin, and this is
Patsy Chaitin.
my lovely wife.
Hi, I'm Ted Langdon.
My name is Jenna Snag.
Hey, I'm Andy Marshall.
My name is Joan Brown.
My name is Sandra Thomas.
I joined this church back in 1986, and one of the most interesting features was the New Life Singers. I remember one Sabbath afternoon I was sitting down in the congregation. The song that they were doing was, "I'm going to put on my robe and tell the story how I made it over." And Marcia Smith was doing the solo. And I sat there in awe, just listening to a group of young people singing and ministering. And I'm saying, like, well, I was just transitioning from the world coming into the church. Just to hear gospel music at its best was wonderful. And what got me into the choir, I remember Sandra Brown. It was, I can't remember if we were practicing on Friday or Sunday, but Sandra Brown had invited me to join the choir. That was my first invitation. And I remember when we were down at Old Harvey, I stayed downstairs for an hour and a half. I was nervous, stiff. I was so afraid to come up. And I can't remember if somebody came down and helped me up there, but I just, was thinking, I can't sing with that choir. I mean, they sound so good. But I was able to muster up the courage and sit in.
I'm one of the original New Life Singers. I've grasped a lot from the choir. The family-oriented fellowship kept me going on the Christian pathway. I would like to see all my brothers and sisters in heaven when Jesus comes. I enjoyed the trips that we went on. One of them that sticks in my memory was the Montreal trip. And I remember spending it with a lady there who was very friendly. Also, we had social that night, and I enjoyed that very well.
My greatest memory of the New Life Singers is when we went to Ottawa, and we had such a great concert. And I remember my mother always carrying her boombox, always recording everything that happened, and to this day she still has the cassettes, she still has the same boombox, and she still plays all those great songs. Ottawa was, I think, one of our best trips.
I am an original New Life Singer. We went on many trips, and one was the Montreal, Philadelphia, and Chicago trip. And you know what? It was fantastic. We had lots of fun, lots of people who took care of us in those trips. But the one thing that really stuck out in my mind in this choir is the wedding we went to, Sister Matthew's granddaughter. It was a Jewish wedding. Oh, I don't know, the stuff was just awesome. It was just different for us. The one thing that stuck out in my mind was at the wedding, they threw the glass on the floor and stomped on it, which was pretty neat.
So I joined the choir in 1988. It was a blessing. Got baptized, came in, and we just wanted to do something, and somebody introduced me to New Life. The trips that we went on, which were many trips, the picnics that we've been on, and so forth. But one of my memorable moments was when we on our way to Buffalo to do a concert. And as soon as we got to the border, the car just shut down. The customs officers came out with their guns, and we were kind of getting nervous here, like, what's going on here? So they came over and they say, well, what's happening here? And we said, we don't know. We just got right here to the border, and the engine just shut down. And they said, well, why were you going into Buffalo? So we told them we were going to do a concert. And they said, okay. So they wanted to know the location of where we were going, and we told them, and we actually allowed us to call the church. So we called the church, and they brought over a brother from the church that came to the border, jump-start the car. So by the time we got to the concert, it was actually finished. But that was one of my memorable moments in New Life, and there are thousands of memories that will stay with me for the rest of my life because we were a family.
I was a member of New Life from its inception up to, I believe, 1986. For me, New Life was my family. I spent more time with New Life Singers as a group than I spent with my mom or my sisters. Home life was a little, fairly new to Canada. Mom worked 2 jobs, so there wasn't much of a home life. But Friday nights, Sabbath evening, and Sunday afternoon were the best times because we get to meet up with each other, talk about what we're going through, and it was my safe place away from home. And I developed relationships. My 2 best friends that have been 35 years. Iona may say 38, but I think it's 35. And they're still my best friends to today. So not only do I got a family, I also got my 2 best friends from being a part of New Life. And also the memory brought me back to Toronto today.
When I first came to Canada in 1988, I was kind of, cut off from a lot of things. I was the only one in my family in Toronto and looking for a place to stay, a place to call home basically. I remember calling the conference on the last week of December 1988 and asking them, I need a church, can you tell me where to go? I lived on Lansdowne and Queen at the time, and they said, oh, there's a church right up the street from you on Harvey Avenue. They said, just take the 47 bus and you're right there. I started going to church on the first Sabbath of 1989. And I remember the first person that greeted me in front of the door was Brother Balfour. And he said, oh, you can join the choir. I'm like, no. Then Brother, help me, Hazel's husband.
Brian.
Brother Brian. He's like, yes, you join the choir. There's all the young people. And I was so excited. I'm a singer from back home, and I found that New Life gave me the home and the family that I was lacking. And my daughter grew up in New Life. She was the youngest New Life singer, Nikita. And just having that place to call home, and I look forward to Friday night practices. New Life saved my life really. And I guess because of New Life, I am in this church still. Otherwise, I would have left the church. And if it wasn't for New Life Singers and being able to share with the saints my life story and them embracing me as a family and as a fellow Christian, I probably wouldn't have been here. So thank you, New Life. You've saved my life. I love you all, and it's so good to see everyone again.
I found love in New Life Singers. The girl was lovely, and she still is lovely after 29 years. We had a lot of great memories and great friends there. And we both were tenor voices in the choir. We still sing tenor. We together gave birth to 4 children, and they are now adults. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we are free, single again, enjoying life.
I remember to join New Life, Erlyn had to come to my parents to talk to them so that they can give me permission to come to New Life, because it was such a wonderful choir that I wanted to join so badly, and I asked him, and he did go to my parents, and it was the best thing ever.
New Life Singers means to me a sense of belonging, a sense of connecting. I've been with the choir since '85, and I'm still singing today. They've changed directors, they've changed songs, they've changed so many things about New Life Singers. Now we're Yes to Life, but '85, I'm still going strong. I've been through every circumstance and every situation, but the songs that we sang and the groundedness that it gave me and that connection that I made with God is what kept me going and know the reason why I sang and the reason why I'm still singing today. And all the wonderful fellowship we had at people's houses and going down and singing in the community, singing on the boardwalk, singing in the parks, going on the trips. It's just amazing. And I cherish all the memories I have of New Life Singers. And just having this reunion is like deja vu. I just love it.
When I came to the choir in about 1984, the spring of 84 maybe, I had sung in Montreal where I had lived before, but when I came to the choir, what I loved about it was the energy. And it gave me, Erlen Alexander actually, the most, is who I remember the most, and he gave me a real love for music. I remember seeing him as a kind of father, and I loved going to choir practice. I made it my business. I lived in Scarborough at the time, at one point at least, while I was in the choir, and I drove or I took a bus and went to choir, and I loved New Life Singers. It was a wonderful experience. Met some great people, and I continue to have that as a wonderful memory in my mind.
I'm an original member of New Life Singers. I was here when it began. And it felt great to be part of something unique. I don't think that there were any other gospel choirs in the Adventist church anyway that was doing what we were doing, singing the gospel songs and having, well, it was 4-part harmony back then. I know most gospel choirs today are 3-part harmony. But it was nice to sing bass because I'm a bass. So it was great to just have the opportunity to come with my friends, hang out, put on those purple and white robes, and be like moving around and clapping. You know, it's those are things we take for granted now. But back then, in the early '80s, this was not something that was normal, something that was accepted in the Adventist tradition at that time. So it was really great to be a part of something that sort of broke ground, that paved the way for other youth choirs to do what they do now. And you know, just really thank Erlen, and I thank even my sister Abby, who started directing at this time, just for giving us that opportunity to sing, to have parts, to have fun, to go on trips, to have socials, to have exchanges with other choirs. It's just a lot of fun, and have some great friends that, you know, from childhood to now, still great friends. So thank you, New Life.
I was with New Life Singers since I was young, and I was one of the only guys in the choir that sang soprano. so it was nice. It's nice to be back with the New Life Singers and have a reunion. God bless.
I'm always thankful to New Life Singer for instilling in me practice, the piano, practice. And I instill the same thing in my children today.
New Life has really been a major milestone in my life that helped me musically to join with other folks and just to be enriching my blood with music. I live, breathe, eat, smell music, and I think it was because of this wonderful, powerful ministry that Erlen Alexander started at this church. So I am so grateful. You know, both my daughters are playing piano now remarkably well and everything, and I aspire to be, you know, a great piano player. But Erlen, God bless you. Thank you so much for what you've done for the music ministry in this church for New Life. New Life, I love you. I love this reunion, and hey, when it's all over, may we all rejoice in heaven. God bless.
I can associate so much of my youth and my coming of age with being a part of New Life Singers. I remember I was in Children of Promise and just itching and dying and anxious to get into New Life Singers because that was the new choir, the youth choir, and I wanted to be a part of that. But I had to wait until I was 14 years old. So, on my 14th birthday, which happened to be a Sabbath, I jumped up and I ran and sang in New Life Singers. I had no idea as to what they were singing, and I had a few strange looks like, why are you here? But join I did, and I've never looked back. I have to say a really big thank you to Erlen for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to discover my own talents. He's the one that allowed me to become the director that I am today, and to him I have to give lots of props for being my mentor, for being my encourager, and just for giving me the most important tip, which was, when you direct, make sure they can see your hands. that was his biggest tip to me, and I appreciate that so much. Over the years, New Life has blessed many people. We've heard many stories have come back to us, people in the community who have come back and said what a blessing it's been to New Life. We've broken so many grounds. One I remember in particular was when we went to sing at the Phoenix Club. Very different experience. We didn't think the board was going to approve it. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember how we got the invitation. But we went down there and we decided we were not allowed to give out tracts, but we left the tracts on the table of the club just in case anybody would pick it up and decide to come on. I have no idea as to what the results of that is, but hopefully somebody received a blessing. So because of New Life, we broke a lot of ground. We were able to explore different things that we wouldn't have. We were able to reach new heights and really come to understand who we are as Christians, and for me, who I was as a musician. So that is what New Life means to me. It holds a very special place in my heart, and it always will. Congratulations to New Life Singers.
I'm Earl Alexander. I'm the director of New Life Singers. We started this choir, I think, in 1981, I think it was. And it was a great experience for me to have been the director of the choir. But I must say that the idea to start a youth choir, and I will never forget this, came from a lady who always had ideas, and that was Sister Marshall. She had the great idea of starting a youth choir, and she approached me and said, "Earl, why don't you start a youth choir?" And we started the choir, but we didn't have a name when we started the choir. And the name came to me after, which was New Life Singers. And someone would say, "Well, why New Life?" Because then I thought that, at the time I thought that it has to be New Life because the music is a new style of music. From what I used to do, singing choirs in Trinidad, more in the classical field. But this was something new, and it was a new experience for me. So I named the choir New Life Singers.
Right.
And from then on, I really enjoyed directing the choir, and the members, we were like a big family. And I call them my children. And we had a great time, and God really blessed the choir. We introduced drums in church, and I remember when we introduced the drums, one member told me the devil was in church. But, you know, it was a great experience, and what can I say again? It was just a great experience. Can't find words to explain it. And I'm so happy that we have come back again to celebrate the 50th anniversary of our church, and we will be having a great time today.